I finally watched Gachiakuta, and just in time since there's a new anime game coming out and people have a whole bunch of questions about it, like is it a gacha? Is it an arena fighter? Can I see Amo's feet? And the answer is no, maybe. I decided to put my head down and do some research on what this game actually is, and turns out this is a survival RPG with co-op, crossplay, base building, and scavenging. There are 3 main sources for all of this: the announcement trailer, some gameplay snippets, and most of all, the Steam page. So let's go through all of those, but this is only the beginning. If you want to know more about this game as we learn more about it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It wouldn't be Gachiakuta without some strong riffs opening up on this trailer. It's not as good as the first opening, but we'll take it. Come to us, we'll talk about the developer soon. And this trailer is mostly CG, which is why a lot of people had a lot of questions, you know? They see the CG, it's mostly a vibes trailer, you get the vibes that they're going for with the game, and that's something, you know, that's an approach. I think that's a valuable approach to announcing a game for sure. But the first thing people want to know is, what is the gameplay? What does it play like? And this trailer does not answer that question. It does answer, however, what the game will look like, because all of this, I believe, is in-engine. None of this is pre-rendered, and the gameplay we're going to look at later, after we react to this trailer, is going to be very similar looking to this. So this is kind of the look you can expect while playing the game. Some big attacks from 3 members here of the cleaners, and then in comes the main character. A lot of trash beast fighting here, which is something we're not going to see during the gameplay, but it does seem to indicate to me that you will be able to fight against some trash beasts. At least that expectation is set now, thanks to this announcement trailer. Big attack. We're going to see this attack during gameplay, actually, which is exciting. But other than that, all we learn is that this... Look at that, console game, baby. PS5, Xbox, and Steam, coming soon, meaning no release date yet. So, what did we learn? Well, first of all, we learned that this is a console game. PS5, Xbox, and Steam. And we also learned that it's being made by Come To Us and also published by Come To Us. I think that's how you say the developer name. So this is not your usual Bandai Namco joint or a bigger publisher like Sega. This is basically a new player entering the space. Come To Us is not a small developer though. They're a really big company with over 1,000 employees. They're even listed in the Korean stock exchange. Don't look at the stock, it's free falling. It'll be fine. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. But what's surprising is that so far, Come To Us have made nothing but mobile games. This looks like it's going to be their first venture into this console space, as far as I can see at least. They've made some mobile cross PC stuff in the past, but a pure console/PC title, I think this is the first one, together with another game they just announced. That looks like this. Let's not think about that too much. Now, for a while, that was it. We had the announcement trailer, and they told us that it was going to be a survival RPG with a melee focus, but it's hard to visualize a game genre just from those buzzwords alone. And so a couple of weeks ago, they released some gameplay clips for the 4 different characters you just saw, and that's what we're going to watch right now. We start with the main character, Rudo, of course. We got a little bit of a beat going on. I ain't mad. Van drops him off. He's got a little bit of an intro. Kusoyaro, of course. And then the gameplay. Now, as far as movesets go, I think this is like a target combo, like a mash square to punch sort of deal. He has the plunger, so I'm sold. Of course, if you let me fight with the plunger, it's beautiful. Bit of a running attack where he gets the chain going, and then a charge attack. Could be a super, could spend some meter for this. As a chain of attacks with the chain. No pun intended. This is the ultimate. I love that the thugs start running away, scared. And big explosion, and that is basically a gameplay snippet. We have 4 of these, and this had to be the first character, of course, Rudo. Who should we go for next? Let's maybe go for Engine. Engine shows us some different stuff. I don't think he shows a running attack, but he shows kind of a special move and 2 supers, which is showing that maybe like the gameplay clips don't really follow the same structure. This is still like mash square to attack probably, with a launcher at the end. This is like more of a special attack. And then he has the 2 supers. One is a projectile, moves like this, and the other one, he's the one that moves, so sort of a dash attack. All of the gameplay clips end with a bit of an ultimate. The thugs are all running away from the ultimates, which is lovely. Big area attack, and that's Engine. Who should we go for next? Let's go Zanka. Zanka, I was expecting a little bit more of a, standard melee fighter, not a lot of gimmicks, but his ultimate actually kind of surprised me. Now, this gameplay in general, this is the third character you're watching, I will say looks very basic, but I think that's okay, because if this is a survival RPG, that means the characters probably level up and get more moves over time. If this is the baseline, if this is where we are starting, I think that's kind of cool, and I really like the impact of these moves, and I think with Zanka you really hear it too. A lot of it is sound design, and you really feel those hits. This ultimate is so sick, man. Zanka kind of peaked early, didn't he? Look at that. Everyone in this radius is gonna get got. That's Zanka. Next, last but not least, it's Rio. Now, with Zanka and Engine, we saw a lot of moving around and attacking. I think with her, we see a little bit more of standing your ground and doing big area attacks. So this is auto combo, again, attack, attack, attack. Very flashy, lots of flips, very acrobatic for sure. This though, stand your ground, she does not advance at all. She just stands there and big AoE. This also kind of she just stands in place and has big attacks. That feels like her gimmick so far. That looks like a counterattack as well. And then her ultimate, I mean, all the ultimates are crazy. I think that's a little bit of a sprint also before the ultimate, which could be a system. But it's still early and there's still a lot to learn. Anyway, those are the 4 characters. That's all the gameplay we have so far. But if we analyze it, we can actually learn a little bit more. For instance, did you notice that they all get dropped off at the exact same location? Their moveset is showed in a different spot, but the van always drops them in the exact same place, which to me indicates that this is a level-based game. Not an open world, but a game where you select a mission, it drops you on that mission, and then you have a semi-open or a semi-linear level that you gotta clear. Rio's location does look different from the rest, but I think it's just the FOV is different for this character's camera, because I can still see the same mountainside, the same rocks on the ground. Their position is just slightly off. And this also made me wonder, how many more characters are they gonna add? Because there is no way there will only be 4 characters. Here's why. First of all, notice that during the intros, they name the team these characters belong to. In this case, they're all Team Akuta. But why would they bother doing that if they weren't gonna have other teams? So, we might see Team Eager with both Tamsi and Delmon. We might also see Team Child with Bro Santa, Dear Santa, and my goat Fantasia. We may even see other characters outside of these teams, like Semu for instance, or even Amo, so we can see her feet. But the team names aren't the only reason why I think more characters will be announced. There's also the fact that this game has co-op. Now, I'm not sure how many characters will make up a team. I'm not sure how many players can play together, but let's say it's 3. I mean, the announcement trailer has a moment where it really looks like it's 3 characters. Are we only gonna have 4 characters total for a 3-player co-op game? I don't think that's very common. That said, I hope this is one of those games where they dedicate themselves to developing each character to their max potential. I think it's more important that each character feels unique and has a lot of moves to learn, a lot of progression in a survival RPG, than to add a ton of characters who all play and feel kind of the same. That's my preference at least. But co-op is 100% confirmed with crossplay as well, thanks to the Steam page. On the right side, you can notice immediately that it says cross-platform multiplayer. But it's not just that. If we scroll down, we're gonna skip a bunch of text. We'll come back to it. At the bottom, before system requirements, it says that it supports real-time co-op play. And that 100% confirms it. I'm gonna add one caveat though. PlayStation has a few weird restrictions when it comes to crossplay that the developer may not be willing to fulfill. And if that happens, then this game has crossplay between Xbox and PC and not PlayStation. I hope it has crossplay between everything, but that remains unconfirmed. PC at the very least will have crossplay with something, so that's good news. But let's go over the rest of the stuff that we just skipped. First of all, story. Experience the world of the cleaners, trash beasts, and the pit, brought to life with high-quality cel-shaded graphics. While faithfully following the anime, the game delivers a new layer of emotion through exclusive direction and dynamic action sequences. I think this basically is hinting that there will be a story mode in this game. It's not confirmed, but it is a pretty big hint. That said, I think the next chapter really paints a good picture of what the game is. Survival. Enter hazardous areas and defeat your enemies. Secure valuable objects and return safely to headquarters. This almost makes it sound like it's an extraction game. Like you go in on a mission, collect whatever you can, and retreat back to base. And maybe it is. Maybe they're looking at extraction shooters and going, that's a really popular genre right now with co-op and everything. Maybe we should try to do that. And it would fit the theme of Gachiakuta very, very well. I think here maybe the focus is not as much as like returning to the sphere like the main goal Rudo has and all that stuff. Maybe the focus is just the day-to-day of the cleaners, going into those polluted areas, gathering whatever they have, and bringing it back home. That's the scavenging part of this game, but what do you do with all of those materials? Well, the experience gained in battle and the objects you collect contribute to character growth and expanded combat styles. You're basically building up your character and leveling them up over time, but that's not all. There's one other aspect here that you might be using those materials for, and that is the cleaner's headquarters. Use objects acquired through missions to customize and develop the cleaner's headquarters. Expand the base to unlock new features and establish a safe stronghold against the threats of outlaws. And suddenly I get a really clear picture of what this game is. You go out on missions, you level up your character, whether you're playing solo or in co-op, and with the materials you've gathered, you build up your base over time. It reminds me a lot of Sandland, honestly. Even when I saw the combat, I mean, it looks simple like Sandland's combat is, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think Sandland's combat starts in a very good place. The problem is that it does not evolve enough. Like, it stays simple throughout the whole game. If Gachakuta's combat starts simple but evolves over time, I have no problem with that. But Sandland is also a game where you gather materials out there in the desert, bring them back to your base, and you see your base building up over time. So not only did the combat remind me of Sandland, but this mechanic also reminded me of it. There's one more thing here though. In addition to combat, enjoy slice of life interactions with your fellow cleaners, which to me hints at those like more casual interactions between characters from the show, a bit like the Hero's Diary game mode in My Hero All's Justice. You know, get some what if scenarios, some banter between characters that is maybe game original with the approval of the author, something like that. Last but not least, we have the co-op information, but also collect hidden graffiti scattered throughout the pit. Sounds like a fun collectible to keep an eye out for while out on missions. Now, the picture is starting to be a bit clearer, but that doesn't mean I don't have a ton of questions still. Like, do the supporters play any role at all? They're a big part of the cleaner's crew, so could they be a mechanic of sorts, like choosing which supporters you want to take? Maybe different dudes give you different buffs, who knows? Speaking of buffs, maybe we can also get spellcaster buffs, like the teams got before they went to see Amo's feat. And what sort of enemies can we expect to fight against? So far, the gameplay shows nothing but humanoid thugs, but the trailer also showed fighting against some trash beasts. And all the raiders have the potential to be really cool boss fights as well. Is that something they're aiming to do? Lots of questions in the air still. For now, I think this is an exciting first showing, and I hope they keep on delivering some exciting stuff over time. Honestly, I cannot wait to see some more gameplay to see if this actually lives up to my expectations. But what about you? What do you think of the game so far? Are you excited? Does it look kind of rough still? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And for more anime games, make sure you are subscribed. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.